Hello, my name is Cesar Mejia, and today I'm going to be talking about the differences between anime and American cartoons and how cartoons can learn a thing or two from Japan, Japan's anime. In 1917, the first ever anime came out to the Japanese public by one Shimikawa Oten. Likewise, in 1911, Cesar Mejia is credited with creating the first true animation in America. Since the beginning, American cartoons have mainly been about inciting humor in the viewers. They use politics and real-world problems and make light of them by portraying them as something fun in the show. In some TV studios, like Boomerang, violence is shown as laughable and brings joy to kids. Although some shows, like Teen Titans, have action and small lessons like friendship intertwined within the episodes, it all leads back to comedy. On the other hand, anime is almost always about action and teaching a lesson. In my experience, there have been a lot more choices in the genre of anime than in cartoons, and in each, there are different lessons to be learned. In slice of life animes, in which the characters mainly just hang out and go on fun adventures, there is comedy, but it also teaches friendship and gives you a warm feeling at the end, even if it was peaceful throughout the whole series. The more brutal action animes leave you in suspense for the next episode and aren't afraid to kill off the main character, unlike in American cartoons. Not only are action animes suspenseful, but they also teach you how to choose friends carefully and the importance of teamwork while making the right decisions on things in your life path. Anime's character structure also differs from cartoons by how it's more realistic in the human figure, rather than in America, our cartoons have a more cutesy art style for children. Though many cartoons are quite entertaining, there's always a basic goal, which is to make people laugh. And I think that America can learn a lot about how to go about having more uniqueness in their productions. One method of better entertainment is having a few more cliffhangers. The original Teen Titans cartoon was great in this by introducing new and more powerful villains for the team to face often. As a kid, it always kept me excited and ready to watch the next episode, even if it was a bit repetitive. Courage the Cowardly Dog also handled this well by having each episode, though a bit frightening, new and unique to the rest of them. Another method is maybe taking it to a darker place in the show's story. Like I said before, anime isn't afraid to kill off a character. This lets the viewer get more connected to the characters and stay interested in the story because of this surprising event. If cartoons can add in the same amount of drama and heartbreak that comes with the loss of a character, I'm sure it can turn out just as great. My last method, that somewhat goes with the second, is to grow it up. Animation in America, since Walt Disney, has always been about children. If we can get more shows directed towards teens and young adults, we might be able to raise view rates and grow the amount of money that comes in from each episode and season. An example from anime is Spirited Away, which brought in 10 times its budget, while most Western cartoons only bring in about 3.5 times as much money as theirs. I find that most cartoons just act as a filler in life to entertain and distract children while their parents can relax. But anime is something for the whole family to enjoy, and it gives something to start conversations about. You can talk about how you're worried about a character, or you can make theories. But when talking about cartoons, unless it's something older like Marvel or DC, it'll usually be just a one-way conversation between the child and their parent. Manga, Japan's form of comics, is what most anime start as before they become TV shows and movies. There are tons of manga stores all around Japan and even some in America, but there aren't a lot of American comic stores. And I think this ties back to the fact that American animation is so directed towards kids that there aren't many opportunities to become a fan of cartoon series or even Western entertainment as a whole, like there aren't in Japan. Cartoons aren't basic, but they're very repetitive. It's the same with Star Wars. I like the franchise very much. I'm a huge fan. I have a few of the comics. But everyone's first imaginary thought is of flying cars, spaceships, aliens, and laser battles. There's a good premise, but a basic base layer. Some animes are victim to this as well, but most completely revolutionize and are new to the industry with movies like Nausicaa, The Valley of the Wind, that had a message of anti-war and environmentalism within its complex story that made even American parents question if these animes, which they saw just as any kid's cartoon, was actually meant for kids. And Akira, which brought in a load of gruesome content like violence, genocide, weapons of mass destruction, a dark, dystopian setting, and even some abuse. American cartoons should work on finding a more creative structure instead of going with what works and sticking to that basic idea, and should branch off into a more eye-opening and even darker stories that can keep the viewer watching until the end. Of course, that's always the goal of media, but I think there are so many opportunities where we can reach that goal easier if we can take notes from Japanese anime. This way, we can not only bring families closer together by having entertainment for all ages, but we can also pander towards Japanese Americans by using some of their own techniques in our cartoons, and it would make it feel more relatable. Thank you for watching my TED Talk. I'm Cesar Mejia.